Today we'll be looking at interesting topic, percentage. I don't even know why I feel like percentage should be written in red, written with red. So I don't know whether it's dangerous, but it's actually an interesting topic and very simple. All the questions in percentage is you should use it to count mark, because I don't think anybody should be following any question in percentage. But let's look at it together. The first thing you know is a percentage, fraction, and ratio. All of these are brothers. Fraction, percentage, and ratio. They are all talking about the same thing. Now, let me start from this fraction. Fraction is actually a topic you should learn before any of this. So, or even proportion. So now, talking about fraction, fraction have two things. Fraction have what we call numerator and denominator. And you can use fraction to define percentage if they ask you for definition of percentage, and you can use ratio to define percentage. Or percentage is the ratio of two numbers where the second denominator, where the second or the denominator is 100. If you are defining it according to fraction, in reference to fraction, any fraction that have a denominator to be 100 is actually a percentage. We'll call it percentage fraction. And some way, if you have done a lot in fraction, you will understand what we call decimal fraction. Decimal fractions are those fractions with denominator either 10, 100, or 1,000, 10,000, and so on, 1,000 as the denominators. So now anyone that is basically 1 all over 100. So if you have a over 100, even a over 100, it means a percent. That's what I'm saying. So even if you have x over 100, this simply means x percent, and this is a fraction. You understand what I'm saying? So with this, I'm able to explain that anytime you have anything percent, this is the sign of percentage. So it is all over 100. It is either all over 100 or times 1 over 100, which is the same thing. So if we have something like 20%, what this thing simply means 20 over 100. If you have 73%, it is simply 73 over 100. Now let me equally go further to tell you that it is the same thing as 20 times 1 over 100. You know that in multiplication of fraction, it is whole number times, it is actually the whole number times the numerator. So this is multiplying the numerator. So this is 20 times 1, which will give us 20 over 100, and it's the same thing. And still, this is the same thing as 73 times 1 over 100. 73 times 1, 73 all over 100. So now, back to what we have. And the reason why I'm introducing this is, in case you have a fraction, you have a fraction as 2 over 5%. They can give you something like this, 2 over 5%. So this will give us 2 over 5 times 1 over 100, which will give us 2 over 500. You understand? So this has been simplified. You can now go further to say 2 here, 1, 2 here, 250. This, you have finished solving this question if you are asked to reduce to the lowest term. Find the percentage, find 40%, this is percent of 60. 40% of 60. This is common question in primary school. So what do you do? Solution. You have 40% of 60. This percent means 40 over 100. We know that of means multiply by what? 60. You can go by saying 0 cancel 0, left with 1 0. 0 cancel this 0. Anything over 1 is the same number. So we have 4 times 6, and the answer is 24. So it means any number you're doing, the same thing, that's the same thing you will do. I won't dwell much there. So any percent of anything, for example, even if you say x percent of 18, this means x all over 100 times 18. So here what do you do? 18 times this will giving you 18. You know that the whole number is times in the numerator, except if any number, or maybe there is a factor that can factor both the whole number and the denominator. So you now say, and which there is, 2 can go here and give you 9, 2 go here will give you 50. So, but even if you leave it like this, you have 18 times x is 18x all over 100. What can go? 2 here, 9, 2 here, 50. So our answer is 9x all over 50. That's fine. So now let's go into what we call increase and decrease in percentage. You see how fast this is, but this is very simplified. So let's go to increase and decrease of percentage. They say increase 80 naira by 20%. Very simple. If they give you decrease, Listen, very interesting question. If they give you decrease of any number, a complete percentage, remember a complete fraction is 1. A complete percentage, actually a fraction, especially a fraction that is not mixed number or improper fraction, a proper fraction is actually less than 1. Every fraction, even if you have 19 over 20, this is less than 1. You understand? So here we'll be having a percentage that is less than 100. This percent, they say decrease this by what? 20%. So a complete percentage is 100, just like I said in fraction is 1. So a complete percentage is 100. To decrease it, the way your teacher taught you is to do 20 over 100 times 80. 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0. You have 2 times 8, which is 16. You come and do 80 minus 16, which will be giving you 64. This is correct. But do you know I've actually taught, I've been a teacher, active teacher for over 9 years. I've started teaching since 2000, over 8 years though. I started teaching since 2017. So now I noticed that students often fail this question. The reason why they fail this is that they will get 16 even though they say decrease, and they'll forget to remove it from the actual number. To remove it from the number, that's the actual thing to do. So I noticed that this works. I don't encourage learning mathematics through tricks, because sometimes tricks doesn't work in all questions. But this is not a trick. This is a confirmed formula and it works. It's not actually a formula, but it is a method, a pattern to solve the question that works. First thing is to subtract that thing. They are saying decrease, you subtract. If it is increase, you add. So subtract this. We are decreasing it by 20. Subtract 20 from 100, which is a complete percentage. So if you subtract it, it will give you 80%. That means we are decreasing it from 100% to 80%. So 80% of that naira, which is 80, we have 80 over 100 times 80. So we'll be having 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 naira is our answer. You understand? So imagine they change it from, that's for decrease. Sorry, what I solved now is for decrease. Now if they ask you to increase, if they ask you now to increase, what do? It is the same thing. You know, we got 16 as the percentage. You should have done 80 plus 16, which will give us 96. Then that's after solving this. But the normal thing is, since it is increased, you do 100 plus the percentage you're increasing it by. 100 plus this, which will give us 120%. And you have 120 all over 100 times what? 80. So what do? 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0. You are having this times 8. 8 times 12 is 96. So the answer is 96. Express 12.5% as a fraction, or as a fraction and decimal in its simplest form. So when this is fraction and decimal, we are having two things we are going to be solving here. So let's first express as a fraction in its lowest term. Fraction, this is actually in fraction, but in mixed number. You call it mixed fraction depending on the textbook you learned from. So we're having 12 solution. So we're having 12 for number 1 over 2%. So convert this to improper fraction first. We're having 2 times this is what? 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. So we have 25 over 2. I say percentage is still the same thing as 1 over 100. So you understand that. Here 1, here 4. So we're having 1 times 1 is 1. This times this is 8. So this is the fraction. Answer to it. We have expressed it as a fraction because we want to express it as a fraction in its lowest term and a decimal in its lowest term. So how do we express it as a decimal? Very simple too. So we'll be doing two things at stake. You can just decide to pick this fraction and divide it to decimal, make it a decimal, express that's we divide. Or you now have this 25 over 2 times 1 over 100, which will give us 25 over 200. You can now use here to divide. You understand? So how do you use here to divide? Do 1, 2. Let me teach you how to divide here. This is decimals with 0. So 1, 2, 2 zeros. You count backward. 1, 2. So we have something like 0 point. This is where the point is. Before any point, if there's no number, is 0. So 0.25 over 2. So let's have 0.25 over 0. It's not 25. We'll call it one after the other. 0.25 over 2. 2 go here will give us 0. Take a point up. 2 in 2 is 1 remainder. 2 in 2 is 1, not remainder. 2 in 5 is actually 2 remainder 1. Did you understand? 2 in this is remainder 1. It cannot touch a point, or because of this point, we can always add 0, first 0. So 2 in 10 will give us 5, no remainder. So our answer is 0.125. That's the answer. Now, we have some part of percentage that used to say, what, are you with me? What percentage of 45 is 5? It's 5. There are ways to interpret it. Solution. If you want to interpret it the normal way, what the question says, they are saying X percent, that's what percent of 45 is means equal to, in mathematics, is 5. But if you want to go like a gadoos you are, you don't want to spend time on solving it, just take this 5 out of this is a part of 45. Which part of 45? I know that that's fraction. A part of something is a fraction. So which part of 45 that is 5? If a part of 45, which is 5, is what percentage? You now do over 5 times 100. You understand? So whenever you're expressing number into percentage, you're times it by 100. That's gadoos you are. But let's not go there. Let's solve this. And this is what I want to teach you though, but let's get the right thing here. You have x over 100 of 45 is equals to 5. So what do? You can decide to do this. Divide both sides. See what, oh, sorry, not 45. This is 5. So you have 45x all over 100 is equals to 5. How am I writing 45? Is equals to 5. Are you with me? So then the denominator, listen very attentively. The denominator of a fraction, when it crosses equality sign, becomes multiplication. So now here you'll be having 45x is equals to 5 times 100. I've just explained what. Ask any teacher who is good on what he's saying. When a denominator cross equality sign, it becomes multiplication. Some people used to tell you cross multiply. This is 45x all over 100 is equals to 5. The same thing as all over 1. Cross multiply. 100 times this and 1 times this. 1 times this will remain the same. 100 times this is what we just have now. So divide both side by 45. Gadoos. Divide both side by 45. You're not a gadoos though. You're more than. This going to this. X is equals to 5 here is 1. 5 here is 9. So we'll be having 100 over 9. Convert to improper fraction. So what do? 9 go here will give us 1. Are you with me? So 9 remainder 1. 9 go here will give us what? 1 remainder 1. So you have, this is what you are having as your percentage. So what's, okay, not even as a percentage. I said what fraction, what percentage of this, what percentage of 45 is this? Now let's solve it another way around. We have 5 over 45 times 100. Here is 1, here is 9. You'll be having 1 times 100 is 100 over 9. 9 go here will give us 1. 9 go here, 1 remainder 1. 9 go here will give us 1 remainder 1. This is this. Okay, we have a question here. A question in mathematics, we consider it as a problem, so we'll be providing solution to this question. But before that, let me tell you something. A couple of parents reached out to me, specifically one in night yesterday. So reached out to me and was complaining that the child failed the mathematics. And when I was trying to have conversation with the parent was actually bitter. He was telling me I've done everything. What was left? And me, I don't really have the time then to handle the child. So now, what's the challenge? The challenge is that the child doesn't understand or doesn't know what problem. When I told the parent to give the child the phone, so I was telling the child, what's the problem? Is it that you don't understand? She said, anything that is not the word problem, her challenge is word problem. She can solve this question if you say 40% of 15, but if you now write it in word problem, it becomes hard for her to understand it. You know what problem? First thing in word problem is interpreting the word into mathematical terms. So now, because of that, henceforth I'll be solving not just this topic, but I'll be solving word problem in this platform. Do well to follow us. And if you think it is that easy, this question, pause it. Tell your child to solve this question. and at the end, play it. When I finish solving it, compare your child's answer. Even if you think your child is very good, I'm not saying he's not going to get it. Compare your child's answer to what we are going to get. So if eventually your child finds it difficult to get this question, whether your child is in secondary school or primary school, then do well to give us a follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and reach out to us. We equally find a way to have a conversation both with your child, to you, and tell you how to go about it. And I can add you to my WhatsApp group, our Telegram group, and where you can always have access to us and ask us questions. Then, back to the question here. What is 10 decreased by? See something here. This is the challenges in word problem. What is 10 decreased by 7? Expressed as a percentage of 7 decreased to 4. This is by 7. 7 decreased to 4. So, the thing is, 10 decreased by means 10 minus 7. Then 7 decreased to 4. That means 7, you turn it to what? 4. You understand? So this 7 is not playing any role here. It is decreased to 4. That means it's changed from 7 to 4. And we are expressing it as a percentage. Express what is 10 decreased by 7. Expressed as a percentage of 7 decreased to 4. So now, this is what we have over 100. So this will give us 3 over 4 times 100. 4 here 1, 4 here 25. 3 times 25 is 75%. So this is the answer. Then let's look at number 2 question. Number 2 question we have, let me use red for that. If the radius of a circle is decreased from 10 cm to 8 cm, by what percentage is the area increased? Listen, the scale factor here are 10 and 8. Now, the area factor, you know, area has to do with square, while volume has to do with cube. The area factor are 10 square and 8 square, which will give us 100 and what? And 64. So now the question said, by what percentage is the area decreased? This is because of this statement that makes us square it. So decreased. This is 100 minus 64 all over the total. The decrease occurred here all over the total area of it, which will give us, this minus this will give us 36. Is it? No. It will give us, yeah, it will give us 36. 36 over 100. Now we are expressing it as a percentage, that is times 100. Please cancel this. So we have 36% as the answer. You see how simple it is? Please do well to follow us and share our video on YouTube. Do well to tell people about my channel. That's the way you can encourage me. Bye. I love you all.